Look at these guys, man. Professionals. I'm working with professionals, man. Here we are. We're thinking aloud once again. My name is Mark Bueno. This is my Thinking Aloud podcast. I brought back my cubby, my rookie, but I also brought back the Duke. I brought back one of the originals, the OGs. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Okay, so I'm Cub reporter, and I totally have not been locked in a basement for a year. Do not send help. I repeat, do not send help. Please
do. It's me, back again, Mariano, or now known as the Duke.
Everybody has to have a nickname. He's the Duke.
Except for you.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've had the Duke on the show, but he's one of the OGs, and it's exciting to have him back on. We just decided to do something out of blue. I thought of a topic we've been thinking about for a while, and the Duke was all over it. And I got my cubby, who's always a great organizer. So we're going to talk about my favorite movie of all time, Goodfellas. So this is the Wiseguys. I know, that's to return. For me, being a podcaster was being better than President of the United States. So we're going to stick with the thing. I'm glad to have my team back, but we're going with the thing that we're always doing. I am so grateful to have my Cub reporter because he sets a table for us to be able to do our thing. So having said that, I saw this movie when I was like 9 years old with my older brother. I love the movie. It's still my favorite movie. It's funny when people say, like, what's the best movie of all time and what's your favorite movie of all time? The best movie of all time, I don't know, it might be Gone with the Wind, it might be Citizen Kane, but my favorite, Goodfellas.
I like Avatar.
Huh?
Avatar.
I hated that movie. Anyways, it was boring. I call it Avatar. Having said that, the Cubby, as usual, comes through. My boy knows, so we're going to set the table now, and Cubby, let's go.
Okay, so first note for the podcast. What did you like about the movie?
I loved every part of that movie. You go.
100%. Just the evolution. The evolution of the story of just being a little kid, just seeing all these men with money, power, cars, just respect, to wanting that, to getting that, and then eventually to the downfall of that. It's a whole story through and through. Beginning, middle, end. Every part of it's amazing.
You haven't seen it, have you?
I have not seen it. It is too inappropriate for me.
I don't know. I saw it when I was 3 years younger than you were. So I guess that means it's my turn.
Well, you didn't have an older brother that would take you to movies. He always excludes me.
No, we rented it. That's a whole other story. So, Martin Scorsese is my favorite director. Mm-hmm. Robert De Niro is my favorite actor. Joe Pesci won an Oscar for this movie. The way they phrased it, shot it, directed it is just, to me, it's just seamless. And it's what the Duke just was pointing out is like you see like this kid that just really looked and idolized these gangsters, and they were small time guys, honestly. But to him, the nice suits, the cars, and the women, and he's like, that's what I want to do. And that was exactly what the way the movie was framed. And it takes you a while. You have to watch it a few times because Ray Liotta is so good. We have to do an epilogue on Ray Liotta. God bless his soul. He's a fucking piece of shit. He's a scumbag, but he's so charming. You don't realize it. Like it's you watch the movie like 3 or 4 times. Like, wow, this guy's an asshole.
Like he's cheating on his wife and stuff and doing as much drugs. But like, you know what?
I thought he snitched on everybody at the end.
Ain't that bad?
But that's true. And that's the brilliance of Martin Scorsese and the brilliance of Ray Liotta. At the end of the day, you're rooting for him. I was like, wait a minute, this guy's like the worst one.
If you think about it,
Yeah, the other guys were tough. So I love that movie so very much. I don't know where we want to go from there. Let's just say that I love the movie. I read the book. It's called Wiseguys. Perfect performances by everybody. Nobody's weak. Like I said, Joe Pesci won an Oscar for this movie. A lot of it is actually very factual, but Scorsese does a brilliant performance of showing what it was like to be a wise guy in the 60s, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
And
I didn't even know it was a book. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's fine.
I didn't know it was a book.
Nicholas Pileggi wrote the book. He wrote the Valachi Papers, and he also wrote the Casino book. He knows it. He's a wise guy. He's a mobster guy. So, all right, that's our introduction. So, Cubby.
That was our first part, so we'll be on our second part now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry, I got a little confused.
That's okay.
Okay, so who was your favorite character in the movie? / book, if there's any differences.
Ooh, favorite character? Oh, it's got to be Joe Pesci's.
All right, Tommy DeSimone.
Yeah.
The real guy's name is Tommy DeSimone. In the movie they call him Tommy Vitale, but his real name is Tommy DeSimone.
Nah, I just love how he's a wild horse, you know?
Yeah.
He grew up and like kind of became a part of the life, but step on his, like that scene where he you think it's funny? And he starts shooting at his feet and stuff and ends up killing the guy.
You just mixed two scenes there.
No, you think the scene where it's like, oh, funny how, right?
Funny
There's
how?
that scene.
Like
but
I'm a
it's
clown, like a fucking museum?
What
the fuck is so funny about me?
They're playing the poker game. That's
the
scene.
No, that's the other one.
I forgot what he said exactly. But
dance the fucking drink over to me.
Exactly. And just a bunch of moments in that movie where he does exactly that, you know? So he kills the guy, you know, and I'm not that anymore. I don't shine shoes, you know? And he kills the freaking guy.
No more shiny shoes.
Yeah. So that's my favorite character.
Before I give you my answer, let me just say that me and my pod brother, Joe Espino, were talking about doing this. We were going to do this podcast ourselves, but my nephews, I cannot say no to them. Tommy DeSimone's brother was a snitch. He turned to the feds, and that is it's a blood oath, thing. Yeah. So Tommy, and by the way, he was like 6'2". He was not a small guy, but yeah.
Oh wow.
But because of that, they call him Tommy Two Guns. Because he always had two guns on him. Because he always had to prove that he was not, a snitch, and he wasn't his family wasn't snitches. Because that thing it's omerta. It's a family thing, like they think like, oh, if you're the son of a snitch, you're the brother of a snitch. Yeah. So that's why he always had to prove himself. He had a really shitty attitude for that reason. He was really violent from very early time for that reason. Joe Pesci does that. Go ahead, please.
So, okay, if he's Tommy Two Guns, what if someone else had two guns? Would that? So is that like
that's the stupidest thing.
Is that like a family legacy or thing? Or no, I don't know.
And then I read Freddie Five Guns was down the street, but he only had two hands, so I don't know what to...
I'm just asking, why specifically?
Well, I'm just asking you why you're asking that, because that's just dumb.
I'm dumb, that's why. So, but why did he just hold two guns?
No, because that, if you mess with Tommy Two Guns, it means he was going to draw, and then he was going to redraw. He was going to reload, I'm sorry.
So is it going to be like some stupid part where he'll shoot you in a non-vital area, then shoot you in a vital area for the second one?
No, it's going to empty the clip.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got confused.
Still was pretty dumb, honestly. I don't like being rude, but that was just
wait till he finds out about Sammy's 6 guns.
Tommy 12 Toes. My favorite character. That's a really good question. So my immediate answer is the Robert De Niro character, because he's my favorite actor of all time. I love everything that guy does. There's a real. I've never seen Bad Grandpa, so we'll wipe that one out. But he's really great in that movie. He's so very good, and it's based on Jimmy Burke, Jimmy the Gent. But I got to be honest, looking back on it, that's what I was telling the Duke is. Ray Liotta is just so goddamn good. You don't know how good he is.
Yeah.
You think about it, wow, he's the biggest scumbag of all of them.
Yeah.
But he charms the hell out of you the entire time. You're rooting for him. And then you think about him, okay, he was dealing heroin. He was cheating on his wife. He escaped from jail. He lied about being Jewish. That's
stuff's not including the mob stuff. That's just a side part.
But I don't know. There's a scene. You know what? Let's wait till Cubby gets it, because we're gonna have a good epilogue. We're gonna have a long epilogue on this one. But
Oh, no.
I gotta say it's probably I think it's De Niro, man, because I loved him as Jamie Burke in that movie. And what's up, fucko? You want some? And I'm like, oh shit, and you believe them. You know, I'm like, oh, that guy might beat me up. He's like 5'8", and he's like 50. All right.
Let me settle down. You know?
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, we're all friends here, right? We're friends, right?
Okay, so commercial first or?
Do your commercial.
Okay. So, for this commercial, unlike the last time, which was, what again?
I don't know.
A Penny Studio, where we were trying to do a
Where
podcast
we're,
thing.
where we're currently at now.
We're totally not being held captive and forced to do content anymore. I'm totally getting fed again.
At least
totally
twice.
get to change clothes.
Yeah.
Twice like a year, right?
What's a padlock? I don't know what a padlock is.
Okay, so us, the geniuses at Penny Lane, designed Penny's foot powder. So we're here, and we're testing it out currently. Moreno, do you want to go first?
Testing foot powder?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so here you go.
If I ever get shoes again, I really want to try this foot powder. That would be cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure it really works with
Oh.
cloth rags.
Yeah.
Okay, so side effects may be worse athlete feet, possible cancer for your feet, which that's not as big as.
Or
the
a dog
other two.
just biting you.
Or a dog biting you. Mild rashes that totally don't feel like your feet are burning, and we totally got legally approved to make this item.
And for some reason, my contract got remanded, and now I owe her $30,000, and I still don't know why. Seeing as how I don't do anything.
Well,
unfortunately, if you were to buy the foot powder, you didn't mention this, but if you were to buy the foot powder, you are legally obligated to watch all the Austin Powers movies back to back to back. So, it's a big one.
And subscribe to the goddamn podcast.
Also, we are totally not being forced to make this podcast.
Yeah. No.
Point number 3?
When was the last time you guys got water?
Question 3.
Okay. So, what did you think about the ending?
Well, it's kind of a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
I'll let him do it, though.
I think, going back to what we said, how Ray Liotta's a scumbag, right? He's the only one that wins in that story.
In a way.
Yeah.
How?
Well, besides from, the massive...
he doesn't know, so explain it to him.
Well, okay, so in the movie, towards the end, he pretty much just rats on everybody.
Oh.
Snitches on everybody, snitches on everything. Everyone goes to jail, but he gets a deal from the FBI.
Like Carmine in the Batman?
Worst.
Yeah.
Worst thing you've ever said, but go ahead.
Yeah, so he snitches on everybody
This
pretty
is
much.
a true story.
He snitches on everybody pretty much and gets put into...
Witness protection.
Thank you. Witness protection. Which is pretty much, you get a new identity, you move to a new place, and no one knows where you're at, You're a new family, pretty much.
Okay. And he's complaining at the end of the movie,
Yeah.
I asked for spaghetti, I get noodles with ketchup.
Exactly. So everyone literally is dead or in jail except
him.
Even the main character?
He's the main character.
Oh!
Yeah, he's living in Utah with his family pretty much.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. He really got it lucky, huh?
So it's kind of like you're saying before you realize oh, this guy's kind of scummy. Like, oh, he made it out, right?
Yeah.
But then after a couple of rewatches, you're like, really? Like this guy?
Yeah, he's an asshole.
Yeah.
Just walked away when everybody else did time.
Yeah.
His capo, Paul Vario, said the only thing I ever want to do is I don't want to die in prison. He ended up dying in prison.
Oh.
And is that Penny?
Am I gonna get fired again?
I
Bruh, I got fired. I had to live in a cardboard box, and I barely got back in.
Continue what you're saying about him dying in prison, though.
Yeah. Paul died in prison. So did Jimmy the Gent. He died of cancer in prison. Tommy DeSimone disappeared. That's a story I want to share for the epilogue because I have some theories on that.
Mm-hmm.
The movie is pretty encapsulated. It's really well done about a kid who at 10 years old knew that he wanted to be a neighborhood kid, and then became a neighborhood guy, and then kind of progressed. He knew the right guys. By the way, it's the Lucchese family, if anybody's wondering. And then when things melted, as they did, he turned tail and ran.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, yeah, like it's
there's an old saying: "There's no honor among thieves."
Mm.
Yeah, it applies. Like at the point that because like I said, I've read the book. He was afraid for his life. Probably should have been. Because it's funny because they're not supposed to deal drugs, but everybody dealt drugs.
Yeah.
It's pretty stupid. But once he felt the heat, I saw a documentary about him, and his sister goes, "I wasn't surprised when he ratted." And they go, "Why?" He goes, "He was always a rat."
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "When we were kids, he was always the first one to
pointing fingers. He did this.
To snitch on somebody." So she's like, "I wasn't surprised at all when he turned tail."
I hate those kinds of kids.
I'm gonna tell my mom you said that.
Not very nice.
That's what you did.
You just got that? So, the movie it's got a great story arc. I love every part of it, and it wraps itself up pretty nicely. It's Scorsese at his best. I think it's one of his best movies, if not his best movie.
100%.
One we're gonna do later, not today, but The Aviator, which to me was his best the best movie. I'm sorry, that he ever did. But Goodfellas is definitely my favorite movie. So that's how I feel about the movie, Cubby. Where are we going now?
I actually got a question.
Oh, go,
What's
please.
Some of your favorite scenes? Like your top 3.
Well, obviously the Joe Pesci, what, I'm a fucking clown. You're fucking music.
Majestic? Did it make you laugh?
So one thing I love that most people don't see, and you probably didn't catch it, and you'll watch it again, is when they're thinking about killing Maury.
Uh-huh.
And then and I'm mimicking, but you can't see me, obviously. Robert De Niro tells Henry Hill, Ray Liotta, "You think Maury tells his wife everything?" And he goes, "I don't know." And then he's like, "That's when I knew that he was thinking about killing Maury." And so then Cream comes on, bum, 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 bum. And De Niro's holding a cigarette in his left hand, 2 fingers up, and with his fucking eyebrows. He's just staring over, and he's like, and he's telling, without saying a word, he's telling you exactly what he's thinking, which I think is just the best form of acting. Like he just, it reminds me of Charlie Chaplin in that sense where you don't need to hear a word to know that he's like, all right,
I'm gonna take this out.
Yeah. No, you see him kind of rationalizing in his head, like, okay, maybe this guy's gotta go.
Yeah.
Bing, 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 boom, 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 boom.
That iconic De Niro stare.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, he's just like, and he just raises his eyebrows, like, all right, like, okay, like you see him rationalize, like, all right, this is the way it's gonna be. And reading books that I have about Jimmy Burke, he was that guy.
Yeah.
And he was just like, all right, sooner just kill you than fucking worry about it. Like that. The Latanza thing, that was just, he just decided, like, why should I share this money?
Mm-hmm.
So he just started icing everybody, because.
Oh, yeah.
No, and in the movies, they make it seem like he was like, oh, he's a nervous wreck. I don't believe that's true. I think he just thought, like, why should I share this money instead of when I can just whack these fools? I don't have any connection to these guys. The only one he cared about was Henry Hill, who ended up putting him in jail.
Instead of it coming from a place of paranoia, it was a place of greed.
Yeah, it was greed. No, those guys, that's the thing. Like, we came back, we said it earlier, we might need to rename the podcast Honor Amongst Thieves, because there was no honor amongst thieves. At the end of the day, when it came to money being made, they didn't give a damn. I try not to swear for them, but yeah, that's probably one of my favorite scenes. Obviously, we just talked about the Joe Pesci scene, and then the third one would be, I don't know. When he pistol whips the dude that messes with his girlfriend.
What's a pistol whip?
Oh yeah, when he crosses the street.
Let him explain that to you, because you guys think I talk too much.
Pretty much. This is. I'm holding a water bottle.
Yeah, please vocal.
So you guys can imagine, I'm holding a water bottle, and if the water bottle's a pistol, you're literally just hitting someone across the face with it.
Oh, so it's like boom, if you run out of ammo and you just hit someone in the head.
No, because they're trying to send a message.
Right? Oh,
they're not trying to.
So what happened is,
Yeah, go for it.
So what happens is, some guy is inappropriate towards his girlfriend, who ends up being his wife.
Mm-hmm.
So he walks over to where he lives, and he's pissed the fuck off. And so he has a gun in his hand, and he pulls it out, and he goes, "It's funny because I read the book again."
Mm-hmm.
And the guy's like, he goes, I don't know what the hell he was thinking. That we were gonna have some kind of a man-to-man talk. And just like hitting him with the butt of the pistol.
Oh.
Right in his eye socket.
Oh, his eye socket.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bang, bang,
Oh.
bang,
Yeah.
bang. And then like everybody's there is like just like fuck.
Yeah. They don't want nothing to do with it.
Bam, bam, and then he just points the gun. Like, don't shoot, don't shoot. And he goes, you do anything again, I swear on my mother, I'll kill you. And then he runs back to his girlfriend. He's like, "You all right? Here, hide this." It's one of my favorite scenes. My brother loves that scene too. He beats the shit out of him with that gun. Dude, like,
good.
Bang! You start to see like the.
At the end of it,
it's a movie.
Yeah.
But you see, like he's cracking his cheekbone. He's snatching the hell out of him. Bang!
Boom! Boom!
They had good 9 shots, I think. I counted him one day. And he's like, bam, bam. And then he pulls the gun on the other guy. He's like, don't shoot, don't shoot, don't shoot. You swear on my mother, you touch her again, I'll kill you. And then he comes over and he's sweating and he's out of breath. And he's like, you right? Yeah. Here, hide this. So I think that's my last point on that. Where are we going, Cubby?
I thought we were only going to have 3 segments, so...
Was that the third one already?
Yeah, that was the third one. So I was just thinking maybe for an epilogue. What did you think? What would you want to improve on the movie?
Oh, there's nothing to improve on the movie. That movie's perfect. No, but it's a good point. So I'm gonna let this kid talk for a minute. What do you want to say about this movie? How much it affected you? What you liked about it?
Honestly, well, first I'll start off with what I disliked about the movie because there's not a lot, right? The only thing that I would say I dislike about the movie is you're scrolling through channels not knowing what to watch.
Iron Man's not in it.
Yeah, you're scrolling through channels, and then you get to a channel. So Goodfellas. All right, cool. I'll watch up until the commercial, and then I'll leave. I'll get something to do, whatever. You end up sitting there for the next 3 hours.
That is absolutely
2.5 hours,
true.
and you end up watching the entire movie again.
That is 100% true. I'm like, I've seen it so many times, and my friends waiting for me, and then I end up watching.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, you have to.
It's engaging. I
it
love
really
this
is
so much.
One of my favorite scenes is when they introduce everyone. You know,
as far back as oh no, yeah.
There
was Mariano the Duke.
Well, what's his name?
Max the Mechanic.
There was
Jimmy Two Times.
Jimmy Two Times. I'm gonna go get the paper. Get the papers. I love that.
Hey, I took care of the thing. How you doing, guy? Hey, you staying out of trouble?
You doing all right?
Yeah. So that's actually where well, hold on. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you're good. Continue.
So me and my pod brother were talking about this when we tried to do this the first time around. That's a one. The long shot where no, you know what? That's not true. That's when you first see Joe Pesci.
Yes.
And it's like you tell him, go fuck yourself. No. I'm sorry, kid, but I'm gonna have to be just cover your ears here. But he's like, so I'm sitting there with weeds, and the cops come pull me in and he gave me all kinds of shit. He's like, all right, tough guy, what are you tell me? He's like, my usual, 0, nothing. And he goes, no, tough guy, you tell me something. I said, all right, I'll tell you something. Go fuck your mother. Bing, pow, boom. He goes, and I wake up. And my head's the size of you. Anthony, you saw me. And then he's like, all right, tough guy. He tells me, no. And he goes, Bing, what are you doing here? I thought I said, go fuck your mother. Bing, pow, boom. I wish I would speak just once. The other part, which is, honestly, it's kind of shitty, but it's also, like, kind of indicative. And as far as I know, it's a true story when he kills Spider. When he kills the bartender at the
yeah.
And he's like, Tommy, why don't you do yourself and go fuck yourself?
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, oh. And then it's Robert De Niro throws. Remember, he goes, Spider, this is for you. And he's like, but don't ever let anybody tell you what to do. And you going to stand up for this? What's the world coming to? And then he shoots him to death. And then Robert De Niro's like, stupid motherfucker. He's like, what? You told me.
But, he's like, well, what'd I do? What'd I do?
He's you're gonna dig the fucking hole. You're gonna dig the hole. I got no line. And that's how evil these people were. Like,
no remorse.
It was more about the inconvenience.
They literally, now we gotta dig a 6-foot hole. You know?
Yeah, he's like, What are the shovels at anyways? And in the book, they say he was like a petulant child being. There's no remorse, like you said, that nobody gives a shit about the fact that they killed this kid.
Yeah.
It was more about the inconvenience of having to bury his ass. And
Dang.
these are brutal people, man. Like brutal people. And then I guess the only other thing I could say is when they murdered Billy Bats. That was a pretty intense scene.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what got. When you get older, Cubby, it's a great movie. Spoiler alert: Elvis dies at the end.
So I have a question.
Go.
So what happened to Joe Pesci's character? He also got ratted on?
He died.
Nope.
He killed the wrong dude, like towards the beginning of the movie, pretty much.
Oh, dang.
And then at the end of it, no, not at the end, but like
it kind of cuts back.
Yeah. Is it the day of or the day before he's gonna become a made man? Or is it the day that they tell him he's gonna be a made man?
The day they told me it was gonna be made.
Yeah. So when you're a made man, you're like untouchable, pretty much, unless like the big boss says you could die, right? You're untouchable. They killed him.
Oh.
For killing that dude that he killed at the beginning of the movie.
You don't. I'm sorry, Cubby. Actually, this is good because he doesn't know.
Yeah.
You have to have permission if you knock off a guy who's made, and he killed a guy because he was mad at him, and somebody told on somebody to told on somebody. There's a pretty strong rumor that John Gotti was the one who got that contract because Billy Bass was his buddy.
Really?
And when he heard, he was like, "Give me that one." And so he disappeared. The movie shows him being killed, but nobody knows what happened to him. He just disappeared.
Wow.
Crazy shit, huh?
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's an interesting story.
So do you want to go back on your theories, or like whatever you said you were going to do at the start, where you said you were going to do theories about, I don't remember.
Great.
I don't remember what you're saying, like you were going to say, but like you had a theory about something.
You confuse the hell out
of me. It was about Tommy.
Oh, yeah. Tommy, there's rumors that the Gambino family wiped him out. There's rumors that he was having Paul Varia was having an affair with Henry Hill's wife when he was in jail. And then Tommy made a move on her. And Paul, when he found out, told the Gambino family, "Hey, I know who killed Billy Bats."
Really?
And I'm signing off on it. And then that's what got him gone, you know?
Oh, no way.
Yeah. No, it's rumors. I don't know that it's true or it's not. But that's a very strong rumor. But the thing about the funny thing, and me and my brother have talked about this, is that when you read these books about these mobsters, you have to remember one thing: they're all fucking liars. So why believe them? I don't know. It's interesting, makes for a good story, but I don't know that could or could not be true. I don't know enough to say it would or wouldn't. It makes a lot of sense when you think about it. I definitely believe that Gambino family got him. Maybe Paul just signed off like, I don't want any problem, because that guy he was a fucking problem. He was I gotta start swearing.
Maybe it was a business decision. It was like he's causing a lot of problems. He might. I don't want him to die, but
yeah, no.
If you don't take him off, he's gonna topple the business.
And it's like kind of like with Bugsy and the other guy, Marlansky. Where Marlansky was trying to protect him, but then came at the end of the moment where he's like, "I can't do anything for this guy anymore. You guys got to do what you got to do," and then they killed him because it's all business, like you said. It comes back to being business, and so it could have been just as simple as that. You know, like I was. If you ever watched the movie Casino, again, I've read the book. The same guy that wrote Wise Guy, and they talked about like he goes, it's an hypothetical. It was like, well, it's like Mike. Like, what do you think about Mike? Oh, Mike, man. Mike's solid. He'll never snitch. He'll never say anything. Mm-hmm. So, what do you think? Oh, Mike. Fucking Marine. Oh, he'll never say. Hey, what do you think about Mike? I might take a chance. And he goes, that was the end of Mike.
Oh, wow.
Wow. That's the way they did business. You know, like
brutal cutthroat, you know?
It's that, like what Henry Hill said in his book, he's like, we would just make a bunch of money, we blow it all on the weekend, and then we go make some more. Yeah. So everybody's just catching that next payday, you know. And if somebody's hurting that potential payday.
They're out.
Yeah, it's no longer.
It's crazy. Yeah, at the core of like all these families and like mobsters in general, it's business. They're businessmen.
Yeah.
You know, but instead of like firing a guy, they're just like take him out of the picture. Yeah. You know, it's insane.
You can fire them, but you fire them a different way.
You fire on them.
Yeah.
You stick them on hooks and meat lockers. You know?
So this brings me to I'm going to call an audible here, but I need Mariano to lead the dance. I'm sorry, the Duke to lead the dance here. The soundtrack.
Well, when we played the first song that you played, you know, for as long as I'm trying to remember the line word for word.
I know I'd go from. For me, being gangster is better being president of the
United States, right?
Yeah.
And then boom, you know.
No, then you hear the Cream. We always said Cream right there. Then you hear when he's being chased by the helicopter. It's George Harrison's "What It's Like." You know, you probably noticed. Yeah, tell me what. Scorsese, by the way, huge George Harrison fan, like most geniuses I know. You shut up.
You wouldn't understand.
And it ends with the Sex Pistols "My Way." You know, like he just runs the gamut. There's like so many things going on there. I love the sound. Scorsese always used music very much in his films. So it's you're gonna want to watch the movie again now, huh?
100%. Netflix.
Because the music is prevalent in everything that in every part of that movie. Like I said, the scene where he's thinking about killing Maury and Cream dun 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 dun, and he's just smoking a cigarette and just staring at him like, yeah, I think I'm gonna fuck this guy up. You know,
he's gonna be gone.
So I'm gonna switch gears here and call an audible. The shot where he takes Karen to the club for the first time. A lot of people don't understand that is one long shot. That
when they're walking through the back, right?
They built a tunnel.
Yeah. Oh, no way.
To make it one shot so that Scorsese's on a track following them.
They go downstairs and stuff. Go downstairs, upstairs.
One long shot.
Wow.
And when he's like, oh yeah, I find it easier to park here, and then they're playing "Be Mine" by the Ronettes, and he's just walking through the entire thing.
The kitchen and stuff.
Yeah, that was one shot. That was a one shot deal.
Oh wow.
That was Scorsese. Scorsese is absolute best. I think that man doesn't have enough Oscars. He only has one, really. He should have like 14.
Really? Only one?
He won for The Departed, which honestly, I don't even think this is the best movie. I don't even think it's top 5. I thought The Aviator should have got him one. And if you haven't seen Gangs of New York, oh my God, that's a great movie. You haven't seen it?
I haven't watched it.
Oh, it's a really good movie. That's also Leonardo DiCaprio. Him and DiCaprio. The only other guy he's worked with more is De Niro. I think him and De Niro made 8 movies together. But this is by far my favorite movie. That shot is iconic. Joe Pesci won his only Oscar for this movie.
Wow.
And again, if you want me to name the top 5 movies of all time, I'll give you a list. But if you're asking me what my favorite movie is, it's going to be Goodfellas every time. I love that movie so very, very much.
Did it get a sequel? No. What's Avatar getting?
When everybody, because everybody dies. If they murder everybody in Avatar, and
the sequel to Goodfellas is gonna be freaking.
I fucking hated that.
Just like one person.
I gotta say, it's like watching Waterworld. You know, like I just hated it. With graphics, like, oh, they're big and blue now. Yeah, okay.
They're in the space world.
It was boring as shit.
They're tall.
I watched it in the theater with 3D glasses with my brother and my godson, and I did it because I wanted to be nice. I didn't think I would like it, and then I was very unimpressed with it. I was not happy with it.
We're talking about Avatar still, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I got confused.
There was no Goodfellas 3D, okay? I don't know.
Sorry.
There may not.
Speaking the end of Goodfellas. When it's like credits, or it's about to be credits, and just tell me boom, 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 boom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
kind of forgot about that.
Yeah. Well, because that's a iconic thing that they did in the 1800s. They were doing a shot from Silent Pictures, and there was a cowboy that was just firing a gun into the camera and smoking.
Mm.
They were recreating that. Thanks for bringing that up. It makes me sound like I'm smart.
Yeah, because I was just the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, I was like, oh snap.
That's what he was doing. Scorsese was kind of bringing a little bit of because
Bang, 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 bang.
Wild West stuff, So we're not done yet. I want to go at least 10 more minutes. So, all right. So we got the Duke, and I don't get to see him very often because he works a lot, and I work a lot. So what's going on, buddy?
Chilling, right here, just talking about mob. You know what mob movie is really good, in my opinion? Donnie Brasco.
Oh yeah, it's completely inaccurate.
Oh yeah, I watch interviews and it's like dramatized to the max, pretty much. But you know what? Good flick.
Read the book.
There's a book. I'm just learning. There's a bunch of books for everything now.
Yeah, no, he wrote it. Joe Pistone wrote a book about it, and it's entirely different from the movie. But really? I love the movie though.
The movie's solid.
Al Pacino's really great in him. Wise guys don't wear mustaches.
I love that scene where Al Pacino's smoking in the car, and so Johnny Depp's character turns the window down and says, "Hey, what are you doing, Donnie? You're gonna kill me with that draft." Because he's smoking a cigarette?
That's actually true, by the way. He wouldn't let him roll the windows down.
That movie's great. There's a bunch of mob movies. They gotta keep making them. You mentioned it, The Departed. That's a great movie.
And that's based on Whitey Bulger.
I'm learning a new thing.
Oh, yeah? He just died like 2 years ago, right?
Well, what's the story with him?
He was an Irish mobster that was playing both sides of the coin. He was snitching. He was like the street king in Boston, but he was he was also in Southie.
Mm-hmm.
But he was also snitching to the feds, and he was playing both sides. And so that's Jack Nicholson's character. That was based on Whitey Bulger. That guy, they caught him when he was almost 90 years old, and I remember
90.
Yeah.
Oh.
I remember when they caught him and they flew him back. I forgot where they caught him here in Santa Monica. Yeah, they caught him in Santa Monica. And they flew him back, and I remember thinking to myself, I'm not joking. I go, fuck, he won.
Yeah, if you get him when he's 90 years old.
90? And
like, come on.
Well.
Most live to be 20.
Well, they murdered him in jail really nasty. They pulled his tongue out. They beat him with a lock.
At 90? Or how old was he when he...
Yeah, he was in a wheelchair, and they...
Oh, that's...
Wait, inmates, right?
Huh?
Inmates, right?
Yeah.
Or did the guards just like break?
I hate to sound like this, I really do, but you know what they say, snitches get stitches. He died like the fact that they pulled his tongue out to me tells me that they're like, okay, this is what happens when you.
That's crazy.
That's why I feel like people like that who go to jail who like snitch and stuff. They shouldn't they should be like in like not solitary, not for like
I don't believe so. I think he got what he deserved.
I mean, he's been around for
like he did get the
years,
dude. Like 30 years or plus.
Honestly, at 90 years old, though, at that point, like, dude, just
stop. When they got him, when they got him, I told my buddy, I go, damn, he won really at 90. I mean, shit, I'm hoping to get there.
It's just like, can you please stop doing illegal stuff?
Yeah.
Like, at 90, I wonder what the story like. Is it just? Did he slip up after 30, 40 years? Or
I think nobody protected him. I think he got what he deserved. I think the police didn't give a shit, and they probably left him.
The police probably actually didn't. The police were probably actually happy with it.
They didn't do it. They might have said, I'm going on break.
Yeah. Like, hey, these cameras aren't looking in this area.
Yeah. We're going to go get a coffee.
So everyone's going to be in like
he made a fool out of the cops for 20 plus years, so they don't have any fucking sympathy for him,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, The Departed.
Okay, so all of us are going to go get donuts.
Yeah,
cameras aren't here, here.
Pretty much.
That's insane, though.
Okay, so I want to do another 10 minutes. So let's just talk about my next favorite movie, and we're gonna do
Just a two-parter.
Yes, I'm gonna talk about my favorite movie. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Cubby's pulling an audible.
Yeah. So we're gonna do The Outsiders instead. This is my podcast now, you guys.
No, it's not. Shut up. I don't want to put you through a wall because you do that to yourself.
Who one time you just won't let that go.
How many times has anyone else run into a wall? Like, if he ran into a wall, I'd probably mention it.
Twice, huh? When I was like a baby or something.
Nope. Just the one time. And it was really hard. Dude, he bounced off the wall. I'm telling you right now.
My thing was bleeding.
Yeah. It was cool.
So, why is The Outsiders your favorite movie?
I really like the idea of like the 1960s where like there was like two social groups, like the socials.
The socials.
I'm literally reading the book and I don't even pronounce it. And yeah, I'm reading the book for
and the greasers.
And the greasers, the poor and like the rich.
Mm-hmm.
So I really thought it was interesting, especially when my dad showed it to me. I like that. I like that it was like focusing on like gang wars basically. Well, not really, because they were like a gang.
No, it was. Yeah, it was.
And like I found it really interesting when it was like midway during the movie, when he gets at the like the fountain, they jump him, and they get killed. Because I really
killed him. I killed that boy.
And I really thought they were gonna be I really thought the rest of the movie was gonna be like running away, but then they came back, which was kind of a stupid idea. Because even if you're not gonna get caught by the police, you're gonna get jumped and probably killed also by the other gang. So I don't know. That just never made sense to me why they went.
Well,
back.
they ran because of you haven't finished reading it, did you?
No, I have not.
All right, never mind.
I finished the movie though.
Elvis dies at the end.
You watched the movie, but you haven't finished reading the book?
Mm-mm.
What a dummy.
The book has got to be one of my top 5 favorite books.
S.C. Hinton.
The book is different.
You know she's a female, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked her to call herself S.C. because nobody wanted to hear a book about Oklahoma teenagers by a girl. That's true.
I'll talk about the movie then.
Go for it.
Since you haven't talked about since you haven't read the book.
Let me give you one thing. And
we're talking about the movie anyways.
I'm going to let you know. I'm totally taking a step back.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want Mariano to name off the stars that are in that fucking picture.
Oh my goodness. You want to hit it?
Both of you go.
I got 2.
Go.
Arc went on.
Okay.
All I remember is Emilio Estevez.
You can't snap your fingers and then eat a slice of pizza.
I'm sorry, I'm hungry.
So you got Ralph Macchio.
Yeah.
How do you go start with that?
Patrick Swayze, Tom Cruise. You got I'm blanking. You got Emilio Estevez.
Yeah, Rob Lowe, Emilio
Lowe.
Estevez.
Dude, what is his name? What's Point of Curtis's name? I know his name.
C. Thomas Howell.
Yes, C. Thomas Howell.
And then I can't remember the girl. She was so beautiful.
So
beautiful. Cherry Valance.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out later. We'll fix it in post. We're not gonna do anything. But like my friend, one of my best friends, his mom's like, you can never get that cast together again.
No,
It's just impossible to get them all together again. And you know what's funny? Rob Lowe was talking about how can you start this and then leave? This was your idea.
I don't know what you just said.
I don't know.
But damn it, no!
But
no, you couldn't though.
I was trying to talk anyways, man.
You couldn't.
This was your idea.
I get it, but like, dude, just trying to talk.
That cat's golden. You know, going on what you were saying, Rob Lowe had a bunch of extra scenes in the movie that they cut, and he said that as an actor, it like hurt his confidence crazy.
Oh.
You know what he was saying is that they were all like, this is funny, that they were all like really competitive and they were throwing blows, except for Patrick Swayze. Nobody fucks with Patrick Swayze because Patrick Swayze was actually a kickboxing champion. Yeah. So like we all knew better than to fuck with Patrick Swayze. He was the smallest one of them, by the way. When you see a picture of him, he's standing on a log of stones.
Really?
So he could look taller. But he was shorter than all of them. But
how tall is Patrick Swayze?
I don't know. He's dead.
Okay.
I know how tall he is now.
Negative
6 feet under. Yeah. Good job. But
I'm pretty dark.
They said that's how it goes. I mean, Tom Cruise is only 5'6", I think, because he wears gloves.
He's short. You're short.
But he was supposed to be the big brother.
Yeah.
So he had to look bigger. But they said that Rob Lowe goes, we were all competitive. He goes, but nobody messed with Patrick Swayze. I mean, he would have whooped all our asses, and we knew it. We fought each other, but nobody fought him.
No, that movie was. I had the poem memorized for like the longest time.
Nothing Gold Can Stay.
Yeah. That really is just, I don't know.
First bullet point?
Do you have a bullet point?
Yeah. I'm just going to read the same ones, though.
Cool.
It's a different
Sure.
movie, so it's a different
Sure.
movie. So.
No, it's fine. We got about 10 minutes.
Okay. I don't think it's going to take that short.
It's going to take longer.
What did you like about the movie?
I'll go first. So the way I found out about the movie is when he played the movie, and my dad sat me, my sister, and my two brothers down and said, "Watch this movie." Two fell asleep, one wasn't paying attention, and I watched the entire movie.
I watched the entire movie too.
You were like doing something else.
I was watching it.
You were like in diapers at that point still. But you were still.
Oh, you're not talking about when we rewatched it.
No, like the first time I was probably like 5th grade.
Oh, okay, never
and
mind.
stop wearing diapers. Really.
Please.
It's getting embarrassing.
It's too old.
Yeah.
They're really embarrassing.
You're 34 years old. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. No, just watching that movie, I was just kind of like, well, first off, the intro's a long intro.
Yeah.
I was like, this movie's gonna suck. Because my dad, he always would do that. He would make us watch movie after movie, right?
Yeah.
And so you'd start judging them preemptively. But that movie, after watching it, I immediately got the book, or asked my dad for the book, and I read it page to page, front to back. Did a couple book reports on it because I just knew it so well.
Yeah.
That's cheating.
Hey,
they specifically tell you pick out a new book.
That book is so good that I did it multiple times. Okay.
Okay.
But it's a story, It's a real two kids, because they were kids, 2 kids. Bad
think
run of
about
luck.
it, they were 14 years old, 15 years old.
16, 14.
They're
Shut up.
young. Bad luck, and they got, they're good people too. Bad luck.
It was a
Had to
social
go hide out,
It was a social climate issue where because Johnny was beaten by the same guy. They ended up stabbing, and so the minute that he felt that in the book you see that he's staring at his rings.
Yeah. When he first walks out of the car,
same guy that
he's just looking at his hand.
Yeah, like he's like, this is the guy. So he shanks him. He's like, no, I'm not doing that again.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's like he has the imprints from the.
He saws the markings.
And he told him, he goes, they were gonna beat me up. They were gonna hurt you, Pony. What?
Because they were drowning him and stuff.
Yeah, they were actually gonna kill him. I think if Johnny hadn't stepped up.
That I don't know.
No, they were drunk and they pretty much couldn't control their actions.
Yeah. No, but hiding out of the mountains.
He goes, they was gonna kill you, Pony, and they was gonna hurt me like they did before. I did what I had to do, and it was an absolute survival instinct moment.
Yep.
The smallest, nerdiest, wussiest one out of them. But,
not the nerdiest.
Yeah, well, one of us gets to be the nerdiest one.
Just because I know about tech doesn't mean I don't have to be the nerdiest one.
None of us have run into a wall in the last 2 weeks.
Or accidentally started and stopped the podcast.
Oh my god!
Yeah, you almost ruined it.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure this one isn't even gonna work, so we have to record it on our phone.
We ruined Christmas.
And it hasn't, it's still 20 days, 21 days.
It's December. My birthday was a couple days ago.
My head hurts.
But, see? You run into a wall, pound the foot.
Start a conversation, leave the conversation,
come back with a slice of pizza and complain.
So I'm getting fired for sure, huh?
I don't know. You had to talk to my boss. I don't know.
Look, when we told you to come back, you said we had professionals.
Oh, man.
This is the one day Max decided not to do it with us. And Ryan didn't decide to do it with us.
And Christopher absolutely decided not to do it. He literally said, you guys were on your own this one.
No, he was literally here too. That's the sad part.
He was in the studio and he said, you know what? You guys got this.
I just got on Hell's Captive.
Yeah, I think he was working a dub with I don't know, one of these pop stars, Natalie Imbruglia or something.
You know what I like about the movie and the book also? It starts the way it ends. It's a loop, That when I walk.
It's like The Godfather in that sense.
What do you mean?
It always ends kind of where it starts.
Oh yeah. That's true.
A wedding, then a funeral, or a funeral, then a wedding. But anyways, go on.
No, it just is when I walked out of the theater, all I had on my mind was a ride in Paul Newman.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. I always found it because not as many books as I've read, right? None have started nor ended that way.
Okay. So I read The Godfather.
That always stuck out to me.
Oh.
I've read The Godfather, and then if you watch the Godfather movies, it always, my brother's the one who pointed out to me, by the way, it always starts with like a celebration and ends with a bunch of people getting killed every time, but at a baptism or a funeral or something to that effect. So yeah, I kind of see it.
So what I liked about the movie is I like the idea that when they were hiding instead of like fighting like most gangs would, and I'm bringing up a stupid reason.
Just keep going.
So the reason why I like the movie is because it got you invested really fast. Because like, oh, 1 minute he's basically just monologuing about the movie you just watched. Literally, like a couple of pages or minutes later, he's getting jumped and literally got a cut on his head or neck.
His neck, isn't it?
Oh, you're bleeding like a stuck pig.
Yeah. Okay. And it just intrigued me. And
I haven't read that book in 20 fucking years, and I remember.
There's no way.
Go ahead, look it up.
Outsiders?
Go ahead, go. Keep going.
So the reason, I thought it was cool that Johnny got like beat just instead of like him, he like finding.
Ponyboy.
So instead of like letting Ponyboy happen, what happened to him happened to Ponyboy. He decided to step up and pretty much just end Bobby.
He had been through it before, but
he didn't want Ponyboy to go through that.
They had beat him really bad. Yeah,
like in the book, he was like bleeding and like his.
No, they found him like the next day.
Like he was just.
And his jacket was like full of blood or something.
Yeah.
And like he could barely talk. So yeah, that's pretty much why I liked it. So, I think we're gonna go on our next segment, which is, who was your favorite character? Which you guys wouldn't mind.
2-Bit.
You stole my freaking thing.
It's my podcast. Son.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was gonna go first, but you stole that from me. So, do you want to go first or do I go first?
Everyone could have a favorite character, dude.
Okay. So, he's.
Go on, continue. I'm sorry.
Come on.
So pretty much mine was 2-Bit. 2-Bit because I always thought he was cool because he was like the most calm out of all of them, and also it was shown if he wanted to like start a fight, he would start a fight. Like that scene where there was like where they came up to him and they were like he was drunk, and he's like it was like 3 of them versus 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So he like shattered the bottle, handed it to Ponyboy, and pulled out like the butterfly knife, which I always thought was cool. No, it was a butterfly knife in the movie, but
in the book, it is. It's like a nice.
I'm sorry.
Switch.
Go ahead.
Okay, and another reason why is because I like Emilio Estevez.
There's 3 more of us in the back seat, and he went. Then pity the back seat.
Yeah, that was an awesome scene.
That's fucking dope.
I just like Emilio Estevez because of Young Guns, which I think we watched it the week before.
Regulators.
My oldest sister loved that movie to the point where she bought it for us, and we all watched it together. And Emilio Estevez, the greatest Billy the Kid. Like, there's like, I think there's a reason why they haven't really done that character much since, because he was just so perfect.
I love like the scene where he was like in the barn. He was like there.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. You are awesome. A testy cuss. Hey, I see him right there.
Then like,
boom.
There's literally like multiple guys in there. Well, granted, his guys were also in there. He literally slowly just like pulled out his gun, like pretty much taunting him, and just shot him.
Yeah. My dad is such a big fan of Old West history that I myself am a big fan of Old West history, and
read a book.
I've read them all, son, and so Billy the Kid has been a big influence on me. But honestly, that movie, it was my sister that she loved it. Again, a bunch of boy toys: Lou Diamond Phillips, Emilio Estevez, Charlie Sheen, Kiefer Sutherland, a bunch of youngsters in the 80s when you guys were when you were gleaming your father's eye. They were like big dogs, and like it's kind of similar to The Outsiders. They brought a bunch of stars, and they probably couldn't do that again.
Yeah.
Emilio's more of a director now. Charlie Sheen is a maniac.
I was years ago when I was super shocked to find out they're brothers.
Oh yeah.
I was like, what the?
Their dad is Martin Sheen.
Yeah.
And their real name is
Estevez, right?
Estevez. Yeah, Estevez. He's Spanish Irish, and
Oh wow.
so
Wasn't Billy the Kid also Spanish Irish?
No.
Oh, he was just Irish.
No, he was just white.
No, he was Irish, but okay.
No, it wasn't. Well, they're all Irish. Really.
I know it. He's just proving. Okay.
There was rumors that he had a son that was half Mexican, but they've never been able to prove it.
Oh yeah.
Do
you really think they actually killed him?
Do you really think that you can stop
Okay.
fucking bothering me when I'm trying to say something? Because now I can't remember what I was gonna say. Go ahead. Damn it, somebody other than me. I legitimately forgot what I was talking about.
Oh, I'm excited.
That movie had a bunch of things where I was like, oh, this is from that. Charlie and Emilio being brothers. That regulators stole that first.
We really got sidetracked.
We did that first line and added it. But no, it's a good movie.
So Martin Sheen, when he came to New York to become an actor, he hired an agent. Agent said Martin Estevez is too ethnic. You can't do Martin Estevez. So they gave him Martin Sheen. So when his sons got into it, Charlie decided to be Charlie Sheen. But when Emilio got into it, who I didn't realize that, is actually older than Charlie.
Oh wow.
His dad said, use your real name. Don't do what I did. Because he thought about it. Am I going to be Emilio Sheen or...
Uh-huh.
And then he said, no, be